Americans get over 85% of their electricity from power plants generated by fossil fuels and nuclear energy, sources that will eventually fade in availability. Renewable energy has been heralded as the alternative for our power-generating needs. Two sun-worshipping entrepreneurs from England set out to see if all this talk on sustainability could actually be accomplished. They landed in Anna Maria Island, a beach community on the west coast of Florida.
Florida is such a great place to run a renewable energy business because you have 360 days of sunshine, so why not?
They brought together a team of experts to turn a collection of decaying beach cottages into one of the most energy-efficient campuses on the planet.
We are aiming for net zero energy, which means that we collect as much on-site power as we use.
We really want to show that really leading the way in terms of an environmentally sustainable project is certainly possible and practical.
This is the story of the creation of a sustainable energy campus featuring the latest technology in a historic setting. The historic Green Village, generating the future, treasuring the past. The historic Green Village is located on Anna Maria Island in southwest Florida. This retail and residential campus is the creation of Lizzie and Mike Thrasher. They are entrepreneurs from Britain who ran a highly successful organic baby food company in the UK.
Lots of babies were eating organic food and we felt we'd really kind of made a difference there. And then we developed a passion for renewable energy. I guess the two things, sustainable food and sustainable energy, come alongside each other.
The opportunity came when we sold the business in the UK and had money to invest. So we invested it in the US. It was an attractive proposition at the time.
The Thrashers were initially attracted to Anna Maria Island when they first sought out a place to vacation in a warm climate.
It was just pure chance on the internet. We found the rental here and discovered it and explored it on bikes. And we loved it so much that we thought one day we'll come back and do something here.
The couple bought 4 adjacent lots on Pine Avenue, a commercial area on the main street of Anna Maria.
The idea for the historic Green Village evolved very slowly because there were some old buildings here and there were some garages at the back that had a lot of rats in it. And then just the idea of, well, why don't we make this a showcase? Why don't we put some historic buildings here and show how they can be reused rather than torn down and rebuilt?
When the Thrashers started the project in 2009, there were only 2 usable buildings.
We started with the Sears building, and as they said, it was fairly easy. You just
put it on the back of a truck.
You just slide big I-beams underneath it. You jack it up, put it on the truck, and drive it down the road.
The Sears home was made from a kit that was sold back in the 1930s. The president of the Anna Maria Island Preservation Trust, Sissy Quinn, helped identify reusable buildings.
It was simply an old cottage that was just falling apart.
The move brought a 3rd building to the location, and remodeling began soon after. With restoration underway, the Thrashers set their sights on another historic building.
For years we called this house the Angler's Lodge because it had a sign on it, the Angler's Lodge. But then I ran into this elderly woman whose mother was Thelma, and Thelma was a model. And she modeled for the first brochure to bring visitors to the island with hopes of selling plots of land.
Thelma by the Sea was purchased in 1945 by fishermen. They added a 2nd floor and called it the Angler's Lodge. The basic construction included rusticated block, a popular material used back in the early part of the island's development.
And the first school was made with it. The church across the street was made of it. And of course, 2 of the buildings on this property were made from it. And that's what caught Lizzie Thrasher's, she says, oh my God, it's made of that same block. We have to move it over here.
After cutting their teeth on the Sears cottage, they were ready to take on this 2-story behemoth.
The Anglers Lodge was slightly more difficult because it was a concrete block build for the first story, so it had to be excavated, and then the I-beams went in and it was jacked up.
We also had to put 300,000 pounds of concrete into that building to make it rigid.
A temporary bridge was built in order to be able to get the two-story structure across a canal.
And in the middle of the canal, one of the wooden blocks flew out, and you heard crack. And I thought Lizzie should turn late, as we all did.
It wasn't even a moment, it was a heart-stopping 3 hours that it took to get it across that canal.